Hello there. In this video we're going to extend the concept of long division of numbers into the concept of long division of polynomial functions. Namely, you should already be able to do 15 divided by 4 using the long division algorithm to get a decimal representation for this. So in this video we're going to be extending this on how to use long division to evaluate something like 3x squared minus 2x plus 1 all divided by x plus 4. Let's first review how to do long division on just natural numbers, or decimals, namely 15 divided by 4. So if we have 15 divided by 4, we can set this up using long division in the following way. So we first put the 4 outside of the division sign, and then we do 15 on the inside. The division bar is a little bit large. So then we ask ourselves, how many times does 4 go into 15 evenly? So we know that 4 goes into 15 an integer number of times, namely 3. And 3 times 4 is going to be equal to 12. And then we subtract 15 minus 12, and we have 3. And then we ask ourselves, does 4 go into 3? The answer is no, since 3 is smaller than 4. Therefore, our answer is in this form. So, remember that this is sometimes referred to as the divisor. This is referred to as the dividend. This number is referred to as the quotient, and this number is referred to as the remainder. In terms of how to interpret this answer, we have that 15 divided by 4 is going to be equal to the quotient, 3, plus the remainder, 3, all divided by the divisor, 4. Always remember that 4 is always going to be on the bottom of your representation. And some people will rewrite this as a mixed number, namely 3 and 3/4, which is the same as 3.75 as a decimal. But we're not going to be using mixed numbers here, but this will be our answer. Again, this is the quotient, and this is the remainder, and this is the divisor. So now let's work on polynomials and see if we can get a similar pattern. So let's do 3x squared minus 2x plus 1 all divided by x plus 4. So firstly, to set it up, our bottom is going to go on the left. So we're going to have x plus 4 divided into 3x squared minus 2x plus 1. So for polynomial long division, we ask ourselves, what do we have to multiply the first term of this by to get the first term of the dividend? So x times what gives us 3x squared? The answer for that will be 3x. And this is why this is usually only done with polynomials on both the divisor and the dividend to make this process easy. So then we take 3x and we multiply it by the divisor. So 3x times x plus 4. That's going to give us 3x times x, which is 3x squared by design, and 3x times 4, which is going to be 12x. We're then going to subtract this polynomial from the polynomial above it. So we know 3x squared minus 3x squared is 0, so they cancel. Then we have negative 2x minus 12x, that's going to be minus 14x, and then we're going to bring down everything else, so plus 1. So then we ask ourselves, what do we have to multiply x by in order to get negative 14x? That is going to be negative 14, and then we multiply negative 14 times x plus 4 to give us negative 14x, and then negative 14 times 4 is going to be minus 56. And then we're going to subtract. So minus 14x minus minus 14x is 0, and 1 minus minus 56 is 57. X is a polynomial, 57 is just a constant, therefore the process is ended. So again, this is our quotient, this is our remainder. So if that is the case, then we rewrite this as quotient 3x minus 14 plus the remainder 57 all divided by the divisor x plus 4. And that is our answer. Let's work through a couple more examples just to make sure that we're comfortable with this. So let's do 2x cubed plus x squared minus 4x plus 1, all divided by x minus 1. So again, x minus 1 is going to go on the left, and the other is going to go on the inside. It's important that you have all of the powers of x here, and I'll discuss what happens when you don't in the next example. So x times what gives you 2x cubed? The answer to that is 2x squared. And then we multiply 2x squared times x minus 1 to get 2x cubed minus 2x squared, and then we subtract. So x squared minus negative 2x squared is going to be 3x squared, and then we're going to bring down everything else. Repeat. What do you have to multiply x by to get 3x squared? That's going to be 3x. 3x times x is going to be 3x squared. 3x times negative 1 is going to be minus 3x, and then we subtract. Negative 4 minus negative 3 is the same as negative 4 plus 3, which is minus x. Bring down your 1. What do you have to multiply x by to get negative x? That's going to be minus 1. Let's do that in another color. Minus 1. Minus 1 times x is minus x, and minus 1 times minus 1 is plus 1. So when we subtract, that's going to give us 0. So what does this mean? So this means that 2x cubed plus x squared minus 4x plus 1 all over x minus 1 is equal to the quotient 2x squared plus 3x minus 1 plus a 0 remainder. So we can then have a corollary to this by multiplying both sides of this expression by x minus 1. We're going to have 2x cubed plus x squared minus 4x plus 1 is the same as, or factors into, x minus 1 times 2x squared plus 3x minus 1. And then we could do, say, a quadratic equation on that part in order to factor that out, or an AC method if we could. Let's work on another example. Let's do 3x cubed minus 2x plus 5 all divided by x plus 2. So again, x plus 2 is going to go on the left, and the top is going to go on the inside. And every time you don't have a power, say in this case x squared, we're going to have to include a 0 coefficient in the dividend. This is going to be 0x squared minus 2x plus 5. And you'll see why we should do that in a moment. So x times what gives us 3x cubed? That's going to be 3x squared. 3x squared times x is going to be 3x cubed by design, and 3x squared times 2 is going to be 6x squared. Notice now we can line up our powers of x squared because we included that 0 term. Subtract and bring everything else down. So 0 minus 6x squared is going to be minus 6x squared minus 2x plus 5. And repeat. X times what gives us negative 6x squared? That is going to be minus 6x, multiply. Minus 6x times x is going to be minus 6x squared by design. Minus 6x times 2 is going to be minus 12x, and subtract. Negative 2 minus negative 12 is the same as negative 2 plus 12, which is going to be 10x. Bring down your 5. X times what gives us 10x? That's going to be 10. 10 times x is 10x by design, and 10 times 2 is 20. Subtract. 5 minus 20, negative 15. That is our remainder. So, therefore, we have this answer will be equal to 3x squared minus 6x plus 10. That's our quotient. Our remainder is negative 15 all over x plus 2. And this is how you do long division of polynomials. At first it may seem tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it's very, very straightforward. Hope you enjoyed.